Begin by moving the left seat fully forward. You'll want to access the rear of the seat. Remove the trim plugs off the seat rail covers as indicated by the green arrows. Now pull the rear covers off the track. It may take a little effort to free them up. This picture shows the clip on each seat rail that holds the cover in place, green arrow. You'll want to fit the clips over the plastic tab on the inside of each plastic cover, green arrow, when you reinstall them on the seat rail. Now pull the carpet up under the seat. You'll want to access the rear clips holding the battery compartment cover on, green arrow. Flip the clamps up and off the cover. Move back to the front of the seat and locate the slit in the carpet along the front outer edge of the seat. You'll want to carefully pry the flap of the carpet out from under the seat cover. Note that there are two plastic covers that fit over each slit in the carpet. Pull them up and off to remove them. Our project car seemed to be missing one of them when we replaced the battery. Loosen and remove the 10mm XZN bolt holding the left seat frame rail to the chassis, green arrow. Now loosen and remove the 10mm XZN bolt holding the right seat frame to the chassis, green arrow. Tilt the whole seat assembly backwards. You'll want to use the power seat switches to move the seat back enough to clear the steering wheel, and then fully forward and up to allow the seat to fold back as much as possible. If your battery is completely dead, you'll need to connect an auxiliary 12-volt power source to the jump start terminal and ground in the engine compartment to provide power to the switches. Loosen and remove the T25 torque screw holding the rear foot vent to the battery compartment cover, green arrow. Then pull the wiring harness grommet out of the hole on the relay panel, yellow arrow. Flip up and remove the two metal clamps at the front of the battery compartment cover. Now remove the cover from the car. Shown here is the battery once the cover is removed. Loosen the 10mm nut, green arrow, clamping the negative terminal to the battery, and pull the cable off. Always remove the negative cable first. I like to put a small bag over the end of the terminal to prevent it from making contact when installing the new battery. Now remove the battery vent by pulling it out of its holes in the battery and the case, blue arrows. Lastly, remove the 10mm bolt holding the guide piece in place, yellow arrow. Pull the guide piece, green arrow, up and out of the battery compartment. Now loosen the 10mm nut, green arrow, clamping the positive terminal to the battery and pull the cable off. Now loosen and remove the 10mm clamping bolt holding the battery to the bottom of the compartment, green arrow. Once loose, pull the clamp up and out of the compartment. Now you'll have to push the battery slightly to the rear to clear the mounting tab on the bottom of the compartment, green arrow. At this point, you can lift the battery up and out of the car. Keep in mind that the battery is very heavy, so use caution when removing. When fitting the new battery, make sure that the edge fits back into the mounting tab. Installation is the reverse of removal. Note that after you disconnect your battery, the DME computer will lose some of its history memory used for adapting the fuel injection system. As a result, the idle may fluctuate and the fuel injection mixture may be slightly off as the car relearns its setting. This may also trigger a steering angle sensor error. Simply drive the car straight forward for 10 to 20 feet and the error code will go away. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.